just because she's making more money doesn't mean that demeans you, right? And say that you have no value. What can you do to continue to grow her as well as the family dynamic, right? And that's what those individuals did. You know, he continued to grow her business to the fact that Khadijah was like, man, go. I want to talk to that brother right there.
Right.
Muhammad ibn Abdullah. You know?
Right.
I want to talk. And she was older than him.
Right.
15. She 40, 25, right? Young man doing it like that. So that's what type of brother you have to be. Okay, if I'm with a sister who's doing X, how can I continue to elevate her? How can I continue to help her grow? How can I sharpen her? Right? How can I help her business? How can I help her in her taqwa, her iman, whatever it may be, not just maybe just business. But you have to be someone of value to bring to the table so that way you can help it.
Assalamu alaikum. It's your brother Haq Islam, and welcome to this week's edition of the Oasis. And today we have friends to the room. One of our initial guests, I think they were our third guest, Bilal and Shaeeda. Please bring them on with a warm round of applause. There you go.
We're back.
We're back, everyone.
And if you hear any sounds from the room, we have little Ian in the back or on the side. See, there he is.
He's letting know that he is here.
He's here. You know,
Ion takes over New York. We've been here for a couple of days, and he has just been
doing his thing.
Yeah, doing his thing. Yeah.
So he's ready to get on camera. So you were one of our first guests, and since then we've grown.
Wow.
You've grown tremendously. Your following and your family.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, you are our third guest. What made you guys decide to partake in a new platform?
Well, I mean, for us, we like to, even though you're new, we like to attach ourselves to anything or anyone who we feel like has some of the same core values that we share.
Yeah.
Ethics and integrity is something that's really important for us. Just someone who's just going to do the right thing, and we also love just this the conversation we had previously before we got on the show, and where the direction of where the show was intended to go, and so we said, hey, like, count us in.
I feel as if we become a big family.
Oh, absolutely.
We are a family now.
Yeah.
And we normally interact with a lot of people. We tend not to get that vibe, but with you guys, it's like family. So I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
We just call you Uncle Hawk.
I love it. And I told you, said your son told me to learn the jump shot. You know what I'm saying? So your family has grown in beautiful ways.
Yeah.
And I love just watching little Ian grow. And he's really been a part of the whole media landscape that you guys have put together. And Shaeeda, you've been very open about pregnancy after 35.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice you want to give to the sisters out there?
I would tell the sisters, hurry up and find a man. Don't wait too long. I'm just kidding.
Say, hurry up, rush.
Well, I would say time waits on no one. We have all the plans. You want to do this, you want to do that. But we have to realize that time waits on no one. And it's just natural when you get older, your body tends to be different compared to when it was when you were like 20 or 25. So please consider that in mind. Because I know women nowadays is like, we want to live our best life. We want our careers, our husband. But we have to put in consideration that time doesn't wait on you.
Teach.
And your body naturally age is a natural process. What happens on the inside? Now you can put on a lot of creams and try to look young and do Botox and fillers, but what's inside is what counts. So I felt like my whole life, I felt like I'm 18 years old, until I realized when it's time for me to have a child, the eggs was not working. The eggs wasn't egging. So it was challenging. But now I'm able to have a baby and I'm trying for my second child.
Oh, congratulations.
We are trying again. It's not been, nothing has been confirmed, but hopefully it should happen because we are trying again for our second child together.
Alhamdulillah, this is wonderful. Great news. Now, You know, people that sit on that couch be getting pregnant. They come here. We've had about 3 babies that's
Oh, wow.
Okay, so this is the lucky chair
This
then.
is the lucky
Okay,
chair.
Where it happens at.
This is where it happens.
Woosah, we're taking it all in.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. What? Yeah. I was gonna say something, but
So was there a process that you had to go through?
No, did no IVF. I know people think, oh my God, did you do IVF? Did you like freeze your eggs? It was just press. And for me, I was like, okay, let me be careful what I eat, watch what I eat. And I've been doing that. Drink lots of water, take my prenatal vitamins. So it was just like trying to do it as naturally as possible. Now, if it didn't work out naturally, I had no choice but to do IVF. But I got pregnant naturally and a lot of prayers. It was the holy month of Ramadan and I prayed a lot.
I if I can interject,
Yeah.
I think the process was like letting go and letting God, as we say, because we had a couple of miscarriages prior to.
Yeah.
It was like so focused on, oh, this is the time, the calendar, where, after that last second miscarriage, it was like, just
I let go. I did.
And really right after the miscarriage, I want to say,
It happened right
like
immediately.
maybe a couple of weeks later, it was a Ramadan,
Yeah.
and blessings on blessings. And so Ayan is a little Ramadan.
Baby.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, Shaeeda, you got to share with the sisters out there
Yeah.
that you DM'd your husband.
Yes. I mentioned that. I got a little backlash for that because women tend to don't do things like that. And woman was,
Wait a minute, you won.
I won.
You got your husband.
I got my husband. I got my
your
son. But still, initially, a lot of women are still intimidated by doing that. It's like, I remember this sister wrote me. She's like, congratulations on your marriage and your baby. She said, but sister, I am not putting myself in no man's DM. I cannot do that. I said, are you married? She said, no. I said, well, that's the problem,
Tell the truth.
But it was no shade. It was like, I was trying to help. I was like, maybe try to do something differently. And you never know what could happen. Yeah.
Tell us
worked for us.
about the joys and benefits of being a mom at this stage of life.
Okay, I would say one of the joys of being a mom is having patience. I think if I was a young mom, I would have been like the cliche Caribbean mom, losing patience. Want to take out that strap? I'm just kidding. Nobody taking out no belt to beat nobody. But I think being a mom over 40, you are more patient, you're understanding. You know how difficult it was to have a baby. So now you're taking your time. I'm enjoying every moment of that. I'm not taking it for granted at all. Back in the day when your parents have you young, you feel like, so much on them. But for me, I've been enjoying life with Ayan. Even when Ayan is pulling my hijab or taking out my eyelashes, it's like, okay, Ayan, okay, give mama a rest now. But I'm very patient with him,
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you guys because, it's been about 1.5 years then since the first show.
Yeah, so almost 2 years, more than that.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years, yeah. We're in October, yeah.
Yeah, April. April will be 2 years. Alhamdulillah, wow. And you've grown, our relationship has grown. It's just been wonderful. How is it blending the family? Because you had 2.
Yeah. It's been amazing. I mean, they, my 2 children prior to Yusuf and Zaina, he's little brother who's running the house, so they adore him. My son, he's always obviously wanted a little brother, so that's pretty cool. And my daughter, they favor so much, Zaina and Ayan, so. But yeah, they absolutely, it's a beautiful blessing, the blending.
And Shaeeda,
Yeah.
So you're the cool mom.
I am a cool bonus mom. That's just my personality. So it's not like if I'm putting on to be someone else. I come from a big family. I have lots of nieces and nephews, so I know how to deal with teens and children. So we just blend in nicely, no tension, no confusion. It's just nice. And his children are very respectable, which I love.
No, I see how you guys interact online.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It seems it's just amazing. Yeah.
Yes, I'm normally the mastermind behind all the videos on the funny stuff. That's not Bilal thing. It's me. So with all the funny stuff with the kids and dancing, that's all on Shy.
All right, let's move into relationships. You know, there's a lot of discussion amongst Gen Z and millennials, like everything is 50-50. Sisters tell me today that when they go on dates, if they're under 30, the brother says, "Can you pay?" You got to talk to me.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
No, this is it's a serious.
It's a serious issue.
They always come to me like, "Unc, what do I do?" And because it throws me. I was like, how is that a date if he's asking you to go 50-50?
Yeah.
First date.
I feel like we live in a society where I feel like women don't want to be women anymore and men don't want to be men anymore. I feel like as if everybody is trying to just cross over. And I feel as if we still need to have masculinity in the household and we still need to have femininity in the household as well. I feel it's okay to have a man and for him to take that responsibility of being a man and having like, okay, he's the head of the household. He knows his place as a man. He have to provide and maintain and protect his wife or his girlfriend, whatever it is. And as a woman, you know your place. If he's doing all that, you know, give him a good home-cooked meal, you know, make sure that you rub his feet or, you know, give him a massage when he comes home. I feel as if we understand our gender roles, it wouldn't be so much confusion. I've been seeing so much things online about, it's 50-50. And men, especially, and I'm going to say this, men are okay with that. They're like, yes, it's 50-50. Let us do 50-50. I'm not into this 50-50. I feel like 50-50, there is yes, we are 50-50, but it's different. We mightn't be 50-50 monetarily, but we be 50-50 in other things, emotional support. You're taking care of the household, you're taking care of him. That's a 50-50, right? But I cannot cross over on your field and get 50-50 when it comes to bills, because that might be your thing. No, if I know that you're working for a certain amount of money and you need help, that's okay. I'll help you out because it's about us. It's about us living together, you know. I don't mind paying a little light bill if I can't pay it. But I'm not going to make it like a habit, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It's not going to become a habit. So that's all I will have to say. What do you have to say about that?
And where did this breakdown happen? Because what your wife was saying, like, there's a traditional side to this, but then there's this new generation that's saying, you know, especially with the brothers.
Yeah.
That took me for a loop when the brother said, sister told me that I went on a date, Unc, and he asked me to pay. What's your thoughts on this 50-50?
Yeah, you know, so, you know, what's interesting is that if you go to a job, you know, you're new to the job is going to give you like a manual or, you know, some systems, some protocols, SOPs, right? You know, for you to be able to follow so that way you can do that job as efficient as possible. If you buy a new car, you're going to get a manual to show you exactly how the car features, you know, so that way you can drive it the best way. You get on a plane, you're going to see pilots, go through a manual, go through checklists and everything like that. We believe that God gave us a manual as well, the Quran, right, in Islam.
That's right.
If you're Christian, you know, it's the Injil, the Bible. If you're, you know, Jewish, you know, it's the Torah. So as Muslims, we try to follow, and you know, at least for us specifically, the Quran to the best of our ability, right? So I can think of what I want to think, you can think the way you want to think, but we always want to say, what does God say, right? So we go to the Quran, and what does his messenger say? And, you know, God says in the Quran that men and women, we are equal, right? We're equal, but men and women are not the same, right? So God talks about also that there's roles and responsibilities for the man and for the woman. So as a man, he says that you're the protector, you're the maintainer, you're the provider. So in Islam, man, you're responsible for the mortgage payment, the rent. You know, you're responsible for the light bill, the water bill, the phone, the internet, all that stuff, right? Never in Islam does the woman have to are required to contribute to that.
That's right.
Right? Now, the man, he's responsible for it. I know some of you guys are watching on the online, y'all looking for a Muslim man right now when I just said that. So, but make sure you pick a good one, one who's in the book, who's reading the book, who's studying the book, right? So, but he's responsible for all of those things, right? See, in Islam, we don't weaken the man, right? So
Teach on
those
that.
are
What do
the
you mean
things
we
that
don't weaken?
yeah. So those are the things So God says that He has given him 1 degree or more difficult on the man. So He's responsible for all those things. Now, in the same context, in that same scripture, in that ayat of the Quran, God also referenced, what is the woman? What does she have to do? Well, in Islam, the woman, she does not have to work.
Outside of the home.
She doesn't have to work outside the home. She can choose to if she wishes, but she can't be forced to work outside the home or anything like that. Now, here's a kicker. Anything that she makes is her money. It's hers. She don't have to contribute to not one bill. She don't have to do any of that, right? I know some of y'all already become Muslims right now. So she don't have to do any of those things. Now, in the same ayat, but God also says that for the man who's provided, protected, maintained, in every sense of what those words mean, the woman, she is to be devout. She's to be devoted to him. She is to listen to him. So anything that he says to her, within reason, as long as it's not, disobeying God, she should listen to him and she should follow, right? So she shouldn't be fussing with him. She shouldn't be arguing with him. She shouldn't be Now think about it too. What woman wants to be fussing with a man who's doing all those things?
Yeah.
That's true.
Right? Think about that though. Like if a man, especially in today's society, if a man is handling those responsibilities like that,
right?
Shoot, she should be able to read his mind, right? Right. So those are the things that the woman should now. So she can't be like, oh well, brother, I work just like you work. Well, guess what? You might work, but I don't see your money. Wherever's in your checking account, I don't even know what's in your checking account, right? So she should also make sure she's maintaining the home and all those things. Now, can she help? Of course she can, right? But anything that she does is what we call sadaqah. It's charity on her part. So she can never be forced, right? But she can help to it. So she has to understand that his responsibility is to do that. However, she should know that she shouldn't be a spendthrift and just spend all kind of money, right? Because he has to maintain all those different things, right? So she has to be accountable and say, okay, I know that if his income is here, however, there may be some things that I like to do that may be a little bit above his income, then maybe I can contribute. Maybe I can help towards a bill, help towards this vacation or whatever that looks like, for them. Everybody's on, and we know that we're in a day and age where, the economy, the way it is, and, the cost of living and all that. Like, if we look back when we grew up, if you wanted to buy a Snickers, how much did a Snickers cost when you was growing up?
50 cents.
50 cents, right? Now it's like, what, $2?
Yeah, $2.
You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
So we know that the cost of living, all that things is going up. But that being said, the Quran is for now, then, now, and for all times. Right. So we just kind of keep that in mind that, she is not responsible for all those things. So the man is responsible for all those things.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest that has joined us. Please, let's give some round of applause for our little brother, Ian.
Yay. You did it.
He's 10 months tomorrow. 10 months tomorrow. So who does he look like, Shaeeda?
That's the thing. Everybody keeps saying he looks like Bilal. And I don't like to hear that comment too much because I carried him for 9 months. I mean, come on. I prayed so hard for him. It's like he has to look like mama too. But yeah, he more favors his dada.
That's what's so funny about it is that like her nephews and nieces, like she would say, oh, they look like, whatever sister or whatever, husband or whatever. And she'd be like, why do they get mad when I say that? But the moment she has a child now, someone says that,
that's
now
how she feels.
She gets, yeah.
Has he visited Trinidad yet?
He has not visited Trinidad yet.
Well, listen, when you go to Trinidad, Uncle Hawk's Trini background too, you're going to love it. You know what I'm saying? So, Bilal, help my niece out. My niece, she came to me. She was almost in tears because she liked the guy.
Yeah.
He was courting her. He asked her out at dinner. When the check came,
Yeah.
he said, "Can you pay half?" Muslim brother.
Well, I mean, based on what we just got to talking about, you know, that's a responsibility that the man has, right? You know, so
why? But why did he do that?
well, you
Why
know,
do you estimate?
we live in an age where, you know, as Shai just kind of talked about, men not being men,
Don't wanna be
but
men.
also women not being women. You know, so you got to have people. The reason why we have so many issues in society is because men and women not understanding their roles and responsibilities. You know, you see some women, unfortunately, who they may, have done very well for themselves, specifically in our community, right? You know, you look at statistically speaking, numbers far exceed men from a standpoint of women who are educated, went to college, et cetera, et cetera. So, but sometimes because of that, which is great, but sometimes they start to take on male characteristics, and women, men, if, they want a woman who's kind of feminine and wants to stay in that role, et cetera, et cetera. And then you have some men who are kind of taking on feminine characteristics, not being, someone who's taking care of you, doing this and doing that, So you're seeing right now in a culture where, men are really being, especially the black man, is really being, looked at not from a TV and media standpoint. They're really doing one over, I should say. I'm trying to be careful with my words, but because they're trying to get the man out the house.
Yeah.
And
that's
you see
been a goal for a long.
Yeah, that's been a goal, right? And so you see women taking on not only the role of the mother, but now the father. So that's all part of the agenda.
How do we combat this? And put on your imam hat.
Well, we combat it with, in order to really have great communities, first starts with a good family life. And in order to have family life, you also have to work on yourself individually, because we have something in Islam that is called, we have two holidays called Eid al-Fitr and the Eid al-Ahad. The Eid al-Ahad is a greater, bigger Eid, right? It's for community. But before you can have the greater Eid, you also have Eid al-Fitr that comes before it, which is the Eid that comes after Ramadan. Mm-hmm. And Ramadan is all about personal, sacrifice before you have the greater sacrifice, meaning that you have to work on yourself personally, right? You have to be able to be one who understands yourself. How are you getting better? How are you improving? You have to get into scripture, no matter what your religion is. We live in a society where we don't like to follow rules. It's like YOLO. We only live once. That type of behavior, and that is room for a disaster. Think about it. The one who created you is best the one who guides you.
Yeah, to teach.
Right? So why wouldn't you want to be guided by what he sent by those who came before you?
This is excellent teaching.
Yep.
Because, I was hurt by the way my niece was treated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I tried to understand it, and you broke it down in a very good way. This guy, it's such an amazing transformation to see your family, from the time we were to get together last on the show, and now my man is here.
Have a little man, yeah.
and I got it. That's what Shaeeda, I'm saying. He does look like Bilal.
Really?
Yeah, he looks just like his dad.
You're not seeing me and him? Those big lips?
I think we both got some soup coolers, so
okay.
Yeah,
it's a black thing. All right, we went over money, and I'm going to go back to the imam and you.
Yeah.
right? Because this has really been an issue, and you touched on it. Our two most important prophets, peace be upon them, Khadijah, his Prophet Muhammad's wife, peace be upon him, Khadijah, and Prophet Musa. Khadijah had more money than Prophet Muhammad. It was never an issue, right? When Musa met his wife, he was lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was just trying to find himself, figuring himself out. He just killed the man. He was running away. It was whole vibe. So these women took them on when they had nothing. They believed in them, their character, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But they both had everything. His wife had, Musa's wife, father, land, cattle, etc. Khadijah was rich. How does a brother today deal with a sister who has money and say, you know, she works on Wall Street, has a lot of money, and he's a sanitation worker?
Yeah, you know, it's those. So if you look at Muhammad the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Musa, though they had spouses who were more endowed financially than they were. Now look at the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Muhammad. He was a businessman himself, right? Though Khadijah had more than him, but when he got with Khadijah, remember before they got together, he worked for Khadijah. Mm-hmm. So he was actually taking her business to a whole nother level through trade, commerce, et cetera, et cetera. So she's seeing not only his character, but also what he was doing, you know, as well. Musa, when he went, same thing. He was working for the father. So though that they had spouses that had made more money economically, they also were individuals who can help elevate it. Mm-hmm. So if you have somebody who's a, you know, sanitary worker and he's with a sister who's on Wall Street, what can you do though to help elevate that sister? She may be in a better situation financially,
Yeah.
right? But are you letting her sitting on the couch, you know, like I'm gonna just go let her work, you know, and I'm gonna just chill? Not Islam. Never in Islam is it demanded that the woman has to take care of the man. You won't find that, right? So just because she's making more money doesn't mean that demeans you, right? And say that you have no value. Mm-hmm. What can you do to continue to grow her as well as the family dynamic, right? And that's what those individuals did. You know, he continued to grow her business to the fact that Khadijah was like, man, go. I want to talk to that brother right there.
Right.
Muhammad ibn Abdullah. You know?
Right.
I want to talk. And she was older than him.
Right. 15.
Years. She 40, 25, right? Young man doing it like that. So that's what type of brother you have to be. Okay, if I'm with a sister who's doing X, how can I continue to elevate her? How can I continue to help her grow? How can I sharpen her, right? How can I help her business? How can I help her in her taqwa, her iman, whatever it may be, not just maybe just business, but you have to be someone of value to bring to the table so that way you can help it.
But Shaeeda, sisters have to be open to this too.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes sisters say, I got to have a man making $100,000.
Oh, very unrealistic expectations, yeah.
Talk about it, please. You got to talk to the sisters.
I feel like we live in a society where everything is controlled by social media. And, you know, we as content creators, YouTubers, also influencers, I think people tend to, everybody wants to keep up. It's like keeping up with the Jones. And I think people have these unrealistic expectations of what a man should have. You know, everybody wants the 6 figures. That's not realistic. You know, most jobs out there don't provide 6 figures. Let's be real. Everybody wants the designer lifestyle, and it's like that is what they have agenda to get. You know, you have to be real and know. You have to be real about it on the whole and know what is for you and who are your friends and the environment you're in and who you might attract, things like that. That's all. That's how it works like. So that being said, it's okay if you don't have like a whole set of money, you know. It's okay if he gets like a 5-figure income annually. That's okay. You could still live off of that. You don't have to try to keep up with the Jones and try to follow this one. And I'm just saying that to say I see so many women, they have money, but it's like they have money and then after they want to live above here, you know, so you can't do that, you know. So back to what you were saying, we just have to be real and stop watching what in other people's plate and try to see what works for us. And it should work out once you have to be real with yourself.
Can I piggyback off of that or lend back? You know, what she mentioned was, you know, like social media and all that. Man, that plays a lot into a lot of stuff. You know, if you think about it, like the generation that is coming, you know, behind us and even including our generation as well.
Including Gen Z also.
Yeah, exactly. They live in a life of just, it's kind of like back in the day, somebody would go over and visit your house and you have a photo album on your coffee table and you go through the photo album and you're seeing all the beautiful pictures, you know, the travel and all that. Well, social media is a photo album for the world to see. They don't have to go to your house anymore, right? Yeah. No one posts, you know, everybody's posting all the wonderful things that they do, right? So that's what you see on social media. So for someone who travel and say, oh man, you know, we drove to the lake, you know, for the weekend, for a family vacation and everything like that. And you had a wonderful time, but then you go on social media and you see somebody went to Paris with their family. Like now you don't even want, your vacation is like, they went to Paris, you know, like you're comparing yourself to other people and not realizing that some of the people you're comparing yourself to are, you know, heavily in debt to do the things that they're doing. It's like keeping up with the Joneses. And if you look at parent generation, they sacrifice. They make sacrifice. Like it wasn't a thing where it wasn't a fast food mentality where I gotta have it now, I need to have it now, I need to have it now. Where they was able to work, say, okay, let us work for buying that house. Mm-hmm. You know, let us work for, you know, able to you know, eventually go on vacations or, you know, send our kids to college, whatever that looks like, where we live in a society in a time where we want it to have it now. And if it's not now, we're not willing to.
And it's destroying the family unit.
Yeah, it's 100% destroying, right? So it can't be that way because like she just said, like the family unit is constantly breaking apart because of that. People thinking the grass is greener on the other side. Yeah. But not knowing you gotta mow that grass. You gotta water that grass.
Gotta cultivate it.
Yeah, you gotta cultivate it in order to make it the way you want it to be.
Bilal, you have a thriving real estate business. You and your wife are building a social media empire. How do you balance?
Yeah, so I have multiple different irons in the fire. You know, real estate, investing, realtor, real estate consulting and sales and social media influencer, all these different things now, buying business, et cetera. But I also know that it's a priority to, none of those things matter if you're not, present. You know,
how do you define
like I think
present?
back, like growing up, like my father was the hardest working person I've ever met in my entire life. May Allah grant him the highest station in Jannah. My mother worked also outside, and she had a high position at her job. And I seen their dynamic. I literally was like, my family unit reminded me of the Cosby Show, you know, where they had things, you know, we wasn't destitute, but we wasn't like filthy rich or anything like that, right? And my father was a hands man. Like he worked with his hands and he did everything. And he, you know, would come, you know, sometimes see him leave in the morning, 6:30. Sometimes he may not come home till after midnight sometimes, right?
Really?
But not on
what did he do?
He was an electrician. Then he also had his own business. He bought real estate. And he also had an electrician and refrigeration company that he had outside of his business, or outside of the job that he had working for the city. But that all being said, anytime that like I had something, football game, my father was right there. Recorded all my games, you know, from junior high school to high school, right? To, you know, take me to college, you know, dorm room life and help me do all that stuff, to practice. I mean, anything like father was there present, even though he was always working. And I'm the seventh child. I'm the youngest out of all my siblings. So I can say the same thing about all my other siblings. And that being said, that doesn't matter how much you make or what you're doing. When you grow up, you're going to be thinking like, man, the times that you shared.
That's true. So how do you define present?
Yeah. Present, you know, being there, you know, being there in your, you know, your children's life, you know. I mean, she could attest that, you know, there's certain things I'm like, there's certain things that are really traditional for me, and certain things that like I really like really matter to me, like really matter. Like, you know, like I want to be there, like even when she's I want to be there when she's getting an ultrasound. I want to be there present and see for the very first time along with her. Like, you know, I'm like, oh baby, we gotta cancel that doctor's appointment because I gotta do this and this with a client. Yeah. I can't be there. She's like, oh, I'll go by myself. No. Yeah. Right.
Everything he wants to be there.
Yeah, you know, you know, she would keep like, oh, you know, maybe I should have him, you know, have the baby in Trinidad, you know, I'll just be there for like, absolutely not. You're right, you know, like I have to be there, you know.
I think it was just like a couple of weeks ago. Let me take out you. I had a gynecologist appointment, and I was like, okay, Bilal, I have a gyno appointment at 1. I'll be back. He's like, okay, I'm gonna book my calendar. I'm gonna be available for 1. I said, you don't have to come. It's a woman. He said, no, I have to be there. I said, okay.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, come along.
So Shaeeda, now you are young mom, family, social media, star, influencer.
Yeah.
How do you balance?
You know, I don't. It just kidding.
And plus, your wife.
She's telling a little bit of the truth.
I am so.
No. Let me say this. Your wife is absolutely stunningly beautiful.
Thank you.
So she's taking care of herself. You're doing a whole lot. Now,
let me just pull this out there, everyone.
Yeah. She's doing a whole lot.
Put this out there, everyone. I got back my body. No BBLs. Although those sites has been buzzing me, calling me. Am I lying? Those people have been calling me BBL companies and things. No BBLs. I got back my natural baby, like my body before having a baby. I got it back naturally.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
I just want to put that out there, ladies. So if I could do it, I'm sure you can as well.
They're calling to pay you to get a BBL?
They want, companies like want to reach out, like, you want to get back a body.
Unbelievable.
Yes, that was just, she not for it. My husband was like,
1,000%.
no. Yeah. He's like, you're not doing that.
Yeah. I'm all natural. I don't like none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
so how do you do it?
Whoever wants to do that stuff, but that's.
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you balance?
I balance
a whole lot is going on. A whole lot going on in the studio here. A whole lot going on.
How do I do it? Okay.
Yeah, I reach out to her like for Botox and for this or that. I'm like, you know, all money's not good money. So, you know, we you know, I mean, that will lead to a different conversation, but we like to stick to certain things that we really kind of believe in as well. And we've seen, you know, multiple different opportunities leave us because of some of the stands that we've taken, because of what we do believe in, you know, and like human rights and innocent children being, you know, life being taken. So we take stands, you know, you know, and we've lost, you know, considerable amount of money and things like that. But we know that at the end of the day, you know, Allah is in charge and Allah has us, and we always do the right thing, you know, and good things will come.
So I've always been a person, I don't want to say self-absorbed, but I've always been about me. I've always been about fitness, and I try my best to take care of myself, take care of my family, you know, and just take care of life in general. So I think I've always been, I don't want to say vain, but I've always had an eye to do, like I used like that, yeah. So I know that
you have high self-esteem.
Very high self-esteem, yes.
Yeah.
On cloud 10.
And plus you grew up in the Trinidadian sun with great food, natural. Bilal, you did a great job.
Yeah, I love the food too, brother. You mentioned the food.
The food maker and put on a little size, but don't worry, I have it under control.
A little size.
Now, when I say great job, because I know somebody out there is going to say something crazy, but I meant brother chose well and sister chose well.
Yes, I chose.
So that's what I mean. Don't
Did you say you chose well?
I chose.
Oh, okay, because I never really get that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I let everyone know I chose well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you DM'd him first.
And I DM'd him first. Yeah.
So listen.
I know what I wanted.
You guys crack me up online. You have all these great skits and things going on. I enjoy watching you. I support you in any way that I can. Who comes up with these ideas?
Are you asking me?
I am the mastermind. I am a very creative person, very creative. I love arts. I remember I told you guys, I told you this before. I didn't want to do my master's. My sisters, they all have their masters, most of them. I was just like, I'm not going to do a master's in something that I just kind of make a career out of. I like arts. I like fun stuff. Hence why we were on a reality TV show. That's my thing. So when it comes to our reels and funny skits, it's me, I come up with these things. I was like, Bella, we have to film this today. And let me tell you something. If he tells me no, I'm going to be blue for the rest of the day. I don't make joke. Yeah. So he makes time apart from his busy schedule to say, okay, 4:30 to 6 o'clock, let's do funny reels with Shaeeda. Yes.
One of the funniest skits
I thought she was going to give me a little credit, but
was.
He does that.
But we tweaks it
every now and then. Yes.
I mean, I'll let her take it. But but every Monday we get together and we have our business meetings. We have a personal meeting for our family, and we also have like our business meeting because it's we run our businesses, and so we kind of come up with different creative things and stuff like that. So
one of the funniest skits was when you were getting ready to leave the house.
Yeah.
And he helped you leave. You made it to the car, and then you decided to go back in.
Oh, yeah. That's when we're pretending. Like when he says no, when the husband says no, yeah.
All right.
Think she was really pretending on that one, though. Anytime I say no.
We don't like to hear the word no. It's something, when men say no to a woman, it crushes you.
And the interesting is, it's not really even, I was like, can you do it? I'm like, yeah, after the football game. And then the world stops for her.
The wife is first.
Yeah, the world stops.
The wife is first, yeah.
All right, so you guys are executive producers and hosts of Love and Islam.
Yes.
That's our show that my company is producing.
Yes.
We had some snafus this year, but we'll be in production next year. Share with some of the audience out there, some of the great ideas that you have, Shaeeda and Bilal, about what's going to come up on Love, InshaAllah.
So for Love, InshaAllah, it's like a Muslim dating shows, like to find the end result is for a husband, of course, or wife. And we just want to make it very interactive between the male and the female. They're going on dates, they're getting to know each other. They're doing things together. We just want to see the behavioral patterns between, two people who don't know each other. And I feel when it comes to Love, InshaAllah, yes, it's on pause for now because these things takes time. People keep messaging us. It takes time, especially if you want to produce a very good show that's going to continue. And I think that it's more than just the average show that, okay, I like her, he likes me. So there's a lot of brainstorming going on. There's a lot of talking at the moment. So we want to produce a really good, exciting show that is going to have as much people on board as possible, as much people who applied. And it just want to be fun. We don't make it boring. We want to make it fun for, the audience that we're looking forward to.
Excellent. Bilal, you want to add on anything? My wife did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think she looked at all my notes earlier. She did great. Only thing I would just add is that is not your regular, like she said, dating show. It's going to be, really fun and interacting. Where here's the thing about just relationships as a whole. You talked about earlier about your niece going to dinner. A lot of times people can put on a face, like, hey, I'm this individual. Yeah. At this moment, where what we want to do is we want to put couples in a in an environment where their true colors come out.
They're challenged.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're putting them in challenges
Yeah.
in certain situations, etc. Because one of the things that in Islam the Prophet said, you really get to know a person when you work with them, right? Among a couple of other different things like when you travel and are living together. So we want them to be able to kind of work together in certain type of instances, and so that way they can really kind of get to know more about each other and not the facade of what people tend to put on when they're meeting a person for the first time. So it's gonna be very fun.
Yes.
Pretty engaging. So tune in, and we want to make a really great first impression. So we're taking our time with it to make sure it is. It's
Excellent, excellent. That's my man right there. He got a lot of energy.
Oh man, yeah.
And he's all over the place.
He makes me feel like I'm 25 all over again.
Now,
Yeah.
3 babies came off that couch.
Oh,
3 guests have had pregnancies.
wow.
Yeah. And you guys were the first, so
Yes.
watch that couch.
Love couch.
So listen, what's next?
Bilal and Shaeeda, we are just living our life, continuing our business. Our focus is always family and making money. That's always our focus. So we always, we continue doing our thing. We have our active YouTube channel, Bilal and Shaeeda, where we make videos premiere video every Sunday around noon. And we just continuing just being influencers and just working hard, We work hard. People don't know this. We work really hard. I was happy to come out to New York because I've been working so hard, and I was like, you know what? Let me come to New York and finally have some fun, which I intend to do. So
Did you get some Trini food?
I did get some
Best Trini food in New York outside
I
of
got some
Trinidad.
Great Trini food in Brooklyn. I still have to explore Queens, but we might leave that for our next time when we come back here.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
We'll go to Queens together.
Yeah.
I know some great
Oh my
places.
God, yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Bilal, what's next?
As she mentioned, we're continue to grow our brand, and different avenues from media, obviously the social influencer media, stuff like that. We've done a lot of things with a lot of big brands, lately, including working doing some things with the NFL and the Chiefs and et cetera.
Well, that's
so
great.
we're really excited about just where where we're headed, and we really think that, and I think it's even a reason why we even originally got on reality TV was that, just the fact that representation matters, so just to see somebody who looks like you, who thinks like you and worships you, to see that on TV.
And a Muslim couple.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we believe that's needed, because you don't see it as much, if at all, especially in our, society. So we're excited about those things, and just what our future, is headed. So,
Alhamdulillah.
yeah.
I'm so happy you guys made it to New York.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So-
New York is always, New York, we love New York. New York has always been good to us.
Always.
The people are absolutely amazing. We got a lot of love for New York.
Great. Look forward to seeing you back.
Yeah.
And my man he's doing his thing. I mean, he's just an incredible, you can see that he's going to be an athlete.
Yeah, he just had his nap, so now he's like wide awake and he's just
doing his
He's just
thing.
getting into it. Yeah, he likes to be very adventurous. He is a boy's boy.
Is he going to be an alpha?
Yeah, him, my older son. Yeah, they want to follow in Dad's footsteps. So, yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, Shaeeda. Thank you for. Did you find my wife yet?
I'm looking.
Keep looking. Keep looking. And look, I love you guys. Look forward to working with you. Look forward to doing more great things with you. Thank you for coming by the Oasis. Until we meet again. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, your brother Haq Islam is signing off until next week. Assalamu alaikum.